My name is Brian Shafer, and I'm a product manager at Microsoft. For the next 15 minutes or so, we'll be looking at the next generation of electronic device, the PocketPC. Now, over the coming weeks, PocketPC devices will be coming available from leading hardware manufacturers such as Casio, Compaq, and Hewlett-Packard. So just what is a PocketPC? Well, a PocketPC puts the power of the PC in your pocket. When we set out to design the PocketPC, we wanted to break free from the confines of today's electronic organizers. Sure, it has to be a great organizer, and it is, but it also has to meet the needs of today's busy professionals for both their work life and their personal life. So let's take a look. Well, the first thing you'll notice when you turn on your PocketPC is that you get the Today screen. But let's go ahead and look at the calendar behind the hockey tournament. Here you can see I'm now in the calendar application. And you notice it launched very quickly, and all of my appointments are available to me on this one screen. This is what's known as the agenda view. If I want to, I can go ahead and look at other views, a standard sort of Schedule Plus or Outlook view, or a weekly view, a monthly view, and of course, the handy yearly calendar. But if I go back to the agenda view, you can see that very clearly the first three items are grayed out, which means that we're past those appointments. And now my next appointment is the hockey tournament. But I also need to add a dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and add another appointment to this calendar. So I'll click ahead on New, and I'll go ahead and just type in dinner. And you can see, so there's my dinner, and I'm going to start dinner at, say, well, the hockey tournament runs, so I'm going to go ahead and start dinner at, say, 7. So now that I've added my dinner appointment, when I go back to the Today screen, you'll see that those two appointments are now listed, both the hockey tournament and, of course, my dinner, which is an upcoming event. So in addition to managing all of my appointments, I have to manage all of my contacts as well. And the PocketPC helps me do this really easily. To do that, I just use the Contacts application. And again, you can see I just push a button on the front of the device, and I now have all of my contacts available to me. So let's take a look at an example of a contact in my database here who's actually a personal contact and a business contact. So here you can see Laura Hardy. I have her home phone number listed, and she has a lot of phone numbers listed. She's an analyst for Hardy Healthcare. But you'll also note that down here I also have her work address, her home address, and even her vacation house address, as well as information about her spouse's name and her children, so I can keep track of sending those birthday cards. So with the PocketPC, what's important to remember is we keep all of that Outlook data. So as you can see, it's not just about the number of contacts you can carry around in your organizer. It's about carrying around the right information for each contact. And if you have a contact that has several addresses, it's very important that you can carry them all with you. And PocketPC allows you to do that. So also from the Today screen, we can see that we have 7 active tasks, and 3 of those are high priority. So let's go take a look at those. Here you can see all of my tasks: buying groceries, taking the car in for service, calling Laura Hardy, etc. And again, we also utilize the categories from Outlook. So I can have my business tasks, my personal tasks, my phone calls, VIP, recent, etc. Something new with the PocketPC is Outlook Notes. So what I have here is the Outlook Notes screen. What I'm going to do is create a new note. So I click on New, and I'm going to add in some text. So I'm going to add in a list for my car repairs. So I'll just type in car, and you'll see that it's suggesting words for me as I type. In this case, I want repairs. You can see I select it from there. Next thing I'm going to do is actually list in getting a tire fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and say fix a tire. But in this case, I'm going to actually use, instead of the keyboard to enter in the data, I'm actually going to use a pen. So here I'm going to go ahead and write in my normal handwriting, fix a tire. And as you can see from my handwriting, I should have been a doctor. But one of the things I can do is use the recognize feature, which will actually go through and take my horrible handwriting and turn it into text that somebody else has a chance to actually read. So there's actually several ways I can enter data into a PocketPC. I can enter in data using the soft keyboard like I just used, or I can use the recognizer feature, or I can actually use a single character recognizer. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that works. In this case, I'm going to add another item. I'm going to tell the workshop that my door is broken. And B for broken. And again, I can choose the words from the bottom that are selected for me, or I can just go ahead and write those in. But for some of those things that are really sort of hard to actually make a note of in text, I'm actually going to take a voice annotation and add it to this note as well. So I can actually use the PocketPC as a little dictation machine as well. And in this case, these little dictated notes appear with the other notes that I have on my device. So let's go ahead and show you how that works. We go ahead and press voice note and then hit the play button. You know, it's funny, Bob, the brakes, they just make the weirdest noise when I just tap on them lightly. Can you look into that, please, and give me some idea what that's going to cost to fix? Thanks. So now that voice annotation is added along with all of my other notes, and it's included within this one note called car repairs. So now that I've made my note, I need to actually get it over to my PC. So it's a good time to talk about synchronization. What we have with the PocketPC is Active Sync. Active Sync is a continuous synchronization bit of technology. Basically, it's always there, so your data is always live and always up to date. In fact, we call it a no-button sync. You just put it in the cradle and you're up to date. So now that we've arrived at the main PC, let's take a look at what this file looks like. So here's that note I made on my PocketPC arriving on my desktop, available for me to use. And as you can see, I open it up, and it has the little information available to me that I had put in for my car repairs. Fixed the tire, the door was broken, but you'll also note this little indicator saying that I have an audio track in this note. You know, it's funny, Bob, the brakes, they just make the weirdest noise when I just tap on them lightly. Can you look into that, please, and give me some idea what that's going to cost to fix? Thanks. So this is really, really handy. You can take those voice notes that you've made while you're out on the road, put them into your device, they'll sync up in with your PC, and you can mail them on to somebody else, and they'll be able to listen to them just as easy as that. So I've been reading some emails, and now I want to reply to one of them. So as you can see here, I'm actually in the reply mode. But before I do, I should probably take a look at these attachments. One of the things that the PocketPC allows you to do, because it is a real mail client, is to open Word and Excel or other attachments directly within Mail. Here I have an attachment on the bottom of the screen. If I go ahead and click on it, it actually loads up Pocket Word. And as you can see, I have a full, rich Word document, including graphics and different font sizes, etc., all available to me. I can also look at an Excel attachment, for example. Here I have a price list that was included. The Excel applications, if I get formulas in my spreadsheets, those all continue to work. So let's go ahead and reply to Bob using Transcriber. First, we're going to need to turn on Transcriber, and then just go ahead and write our words. There you go. So in order for us to break out of the confines of an electronic organizer, these days, obviously, that means internet browsing. So we've included a version of Internet Explorer for the PocketPC. So let's take a look at that. Here you can see the home page of the Internet Explorer for PocketPC. Now this is a full-blown browser, so if I go to any website out on the web, it'll go ahead and pull it in for me. So as you can see, here's a website called Kids Food Cyber Club. Now, of course, websites are generally built for a PC, which has a much wider screen. So we've included a functionality called Fit to Screen, which actually shrinks a website down so it'll actually fit on one page. So now this website is available to me on my device in this vertical format. And it's very important to remember that the website doesn't have to do anything different. This just works. In addition to that, we've also included functionalities called Mobile Favorites. Now, a mobile favorite is all about taking information with you. In addition, we've also included full integration of AvantGo channels. AvantGo is a really cool website, www.avantgo.com, which actually includes lots of channels and information on various different topics. Here I've loaded in a bunch of channels. If I wanted to go and look at, say, Hollywood.com, I can find out where various shows are available. Say I wanted to find out about American Beauty, for example. You can see some of the information about that show. All the information that Hollywood.com has is available to me on my PocketPC. And the thing to remember here is I'm actually disconnected. I'm not connected to the internet right now. You're seeing everything that's been brought down automatically to my device. So it's true web internet on the go with the PocketPC. So I showed you how I could look at some of the data that I've already gotten into my device, and that raises the question of how do we actually get data into the device? Well, there's several ways. They all use this industry standard compact flash slot, or CF. CF is a similar technology to what you find in notebook PCs for PCMCIA, only smaller. And in fact, the technology is transferable between the two. So let me show you. Here, for example, I have a CF compact flash Ethernet card. And what I can do with this device is pop it into the top of my PocketPC, and once I've hooked it up and actually hooked in this connector into my network, I'm actually communicating on my local area network, just like I do with a standard LAN card. And because it is industry standard, I can use this same LAN card in my notebook as well as my PocketPC, so I only have to carry one piece of equipment with me. So that's the fastest connection. Moving on down the speed, I could also have USB CF cards for USB serial connections. But in fact, the PocketPCs, their cradles will be USB speeds. Not just USB connectors, USB speeds as well as USB connectors. So they'll be easy to set up, and they'll also be faster to use. Moving on down the line, let's say I'm out and away on the road and I'm in a hotel room, and the best I have is a landline modem available to me. Well, I can take this 56K modem, and actually it's a CF modem. I pop it into the CF slot, put the phone line into the top of the modem, and I'm often communicating and updating all of my information on my PocketPC. But I'm not always around a landline LAN or a modem. I might want to connect up wirelessly. So in order to do that, again, I can use the compact flash card to hook up to a digital phone card CF card, which actually connects up to my cell phone, my data-capable cell phone, and I can update data that way. Or in my case, I actually use a cell phone. This particular one is a GSM cell phone, which actually has an infrared port on the top. Our devices all have infrared ports, so I line up the infrared ports, and I'm actually communicating wirelessly. I can browse the web, or I can update all of my information anywhere, anytime. So the combination of using that CF slot for connectivity and the high-speed USB cradles makes us the fastest communicating devices available. In addition, though, the CF slot can also be used for memory expansion. So in this case, I have in my hand a 96 megabyte compact flash card. Compact flash is available now in anywhere up to 120 to 320 megabytes in this small form factor. So I go ahead and pop that into my PocketPC, and I've expanded the RAM in that PocketPC immeasurably. So between the combination of the communications that CF brings and the storage capacities that CF brings to the PocketPC, this is without a doubt the most expandable and powerful device available on the market. When you're out on the road, an important application to bring with you is Pocket Streets. Let's take a look. Here I have a map of Seattle. Let's say I want to go and find my hotel. Well, I can go ahead and say, find a place, ask for a hotel, and it actually searches all the hotels against that map. The one I'm looking for is actually the Hotel Monaco. So I select it, say OK, and Pocket Streets automatically goes and finds it on the map. If I want to see a little bit closer as to where it is, it's all very, very simple and available to me. And the high resolution and color screen that comes with a PocketPC makes this a very, very easy to read and rich environment. So the PocketPC is the most versatile device available on the market today. We've looked at many applications so far. In addition to the ones that we've looked at today, there's also Microsoft Money, which integrates with the Desktop Money product. But all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, so we're going to take a look at some of the games that are available on the PocketPC. Here's one from a third party called Zeo Golf, and this gives you a great indication of what the combination of the power of the PocketPC and the rich graphical environment brings to the area of gaming. So it's pretty amazing that the crowd claps when you hit the trees, but that's a separate problem. But for the diehards, of course, we still have the old favorite, solitaire. So in some ways, we've saved the best for last, playing music on the PocketPC. And here again, the compact flash comes in handy. If I pop it in, I can include lots and lots of music on my device, whether it's Windows Media Format or MP3. And the beauty about Windows Media Format is you get the same fidelity of sound in half the file size, so you can carry around twice the music on a PocketPC. Existing organizers only allow you to do one thing at a time. The PocketPC is so powerful that it can do rich applications such as playing music while allowing you to do other things. Let me show you. So here you can see that I'm actually playing music on my Pocket PC. But I could have just as easily, while that music is playing in the background, go ahead and work on, say, my email. So the scenario might be I'll be out working on an airplane and listening to music and clearing out all of those old email messages. And then when I'm finished with my email, I can go ahead and do something a bit more fun, like play some solitaire, while still listening to my music. The power of the Pocket PC makes this possible. So that's a look at the Pocket PC. We've only scratched the surface today with showing you what this device is capable of.